every legendary car has a rival that pushed it to exist. But today, we are looking at a war between two golden eras. From the chrome-laden cruisers of the Eisenhower era to the horsepower-hungry beasts of the disco decade, who truly ruled the quarter mile? It is a battle of raw mechanical purity versus massive displacement and engineering arrogance. We aren't just looking at sheet metal today, we are uncovering a conflict of philosophy. Matchup 1, the Corvette Civil War. On one side, you have the car that saved the brand, the 1957 Chevrolet Corvette. This was the year the Corvette truly grew teeth and shed its boulevard cruiser image. Under the hood sat the 283 cubic inch V8 equipped with the Rochester mechanical fuel injection system. This was technological prowess that shocked the industry, delivering the mythical 1 horsepower per cubic inch. It was light, nimble, and possessed an obsessive belief that it could outrun anything on the road, including European sports cars costing twice as much. On the other side stands the last gasp of the big blocks, the 1974 Chevrolet Corvette with the LS4 454. By 74, the muscle car era was on life support. This car had massive displacement, nearly double the engine size of the 57, but it was strangled by catalytic converters and low compression ratios, dropping to 8.25 to 1. It represented the corporate mindset of the mid-70s, trying to maintain dominance while fighting a losing war against federal regulations. The 57 has the weight advantage, coming in significantly lighter with a chassis that feels alive. The 74 has the torque a massive 395 pound-feet, but it breathes through a straw. The winner? The 1950s takes first blood. The 57 Fueli, tested by Road and Track, clocked a blistering 14.3. The 1974 Big Block, despite having 454 cubic inches, wheezed its way to a 15.5 in car and driver tests. It was not just a victory, it was a statement. It proved that efficiency, mechanical precision, and power-to-weight ratios often trump sheer displacement, especially when that displacement is suffocated by smog gear. Matchup 2, the Mopar Titans. Next up, we look at the banker's hot rod versus the ultimate street fighter. In the 50s corner, the 1958 Chrysler 300D. This was a monster wrapped in luxury, exclusive to 1958. It packed the legendary 392 firepower Hemi V8. While some were fitted with the Bendix electrojector, a primitive electronic fuel injection system, most were recalled and replaced with dual quad carburetors due to reliability issues. Pumping out 380 horsepower, it was built like a tank, designed for high-speed cruising on the newly formed interstate system. It was unapologetically theatrical with its massive tail fins, yet viscerally thrilling to drive. Facing it is the 1970 Plymouth Hemi Cuda. This car needs no introduction. With the 426th Street Hemi, dual quads, and a reputation for being nearly unbeatable, it was the pinnacle of Mopar's engineering. It was smaller, meaner, and built with one purpose: the absolute humiliation of the opponent. This was an engine born in NASCAR, detuned slightly for the street, but retaining all its race-bred aggression. The 300D is heavy hauling over 4,300 pounds of steel and chrome. The Cuda is lighter, but notoriously difficult to launch without spinning the bias ply tires into specialized smoke. Who takes the flag? The result goes to the 1970 Hemi Cuda. The Hemi Cuda stormed the quarter mile in 13.1 seconds in period tests, a time that commands respect even today. The massive 300D, despite its power, hauled its luxury weight to a 16. The gap here shows the evolution of weight reduction, chassis dynamics, and tire technology. The 300D was fast for its day, but the Cuda was fast for any day. The 70s strike back with vengeance. Matchup 3, the Ford philosophy. Now we turn to the Blue Oval. This rivalry highlights a philosophical contrast in how Ford approached speed across two very different decades. In 1957, Ford made an audacious decision to strap a Paxton supercharger onto their 312 cubic inch V8. This was the rare F-code engine, a homologation special for NASCAR. We've placed it in the lighter custom 300 sedan body, creating the ultimate sleeper. It produced 300 horsepower and was a machine that whined its way down the track, forcing air into the carburetor with mechanical brute force. Against it, the 1973 Ford Mustang Mach 1. By 1973, the Mustang had grown larger, heavier, and softer. Under the hood sat the 351 Cleveland V8. While it looked the part with its NASA ducks and aggressive striping, it was fighting the same emissions battle as the Corvette. It was designed for presence and highway cruising rather than drag strip dominance, reflecting a market that was shifting toward personal luxury rather than raw performance. Supercharger from the 50s against the last stand of the muscle car era in 73. The light drops. The winner is the 57 Custom 300. The supercharged 57 managed a 15.1, while the heavy 73 Mach 1 trailed behind with a 15.8. While the supercharger was innovative, tire technology in the 50s simply couldn't put that boost to the ground effectively, limiting its time. However, even with traction issues, the raw mechanical aggression of the 1950s outpaced the smog-choked 1970s. It serves as a reminder that complexity does not always equal speed. Matchup 4, the Pontiac powerhouse. This rivalry tracks the birth and the peak of the wide track philosophy. First, the 1959 Pontiac Catalina. This was the car that changed Pontiac's image from a reliable grandma's car to a street terror. Equipped with the 389 cubic inch Tempest 420A tri-power engine, it was stripped of excess chrome and weight. It was the genesis of the muscle car idea. Big engine, small body, lower price. It utilized a setup of 3 two-barrel carburetors, a system that became synonymous with Pontiac performance. Its opponent, 1970 Pontiac GTO Judge. This car is legendary. Equipped with the Ram Air 4, 400 cubic inch engine, it was sophisticated, expensive, and ruthlessly efficient. It featured functional hood scoops sealing to the air cleaner, high-flow cylinder heads, and a suspension tuned for the street. This was Pontiac at the absolute height of their powers, blending marketing genius with genuine mechanical capability. Tri-power from 59 versus Ram Air from 70. Place your bets. The 1970 GTO Judge obliterates the timeline. The Ram Air 4 GTO recorded a 13.6 second quarter mile in Motor Trend. The Catalina, while revolutionary for 1959, ran a 15.4. The difference here is strictly tire technology and suspension geometry. The 1959 Catalina had the power, but the 1970 GTO knew how to use it. It put the power to the pavement with less drama and more efficiency. Matchup 5, the independent sleeper. For our final battle, we look at the independents. The cars that didn't come from the big three, yet forced them to pay attention. The 1957 AMC Rambler Rebel. This car is often cited by historians as the very first true muscle car. It looked like a sensible family sedan, painted in silver with gold anodized trim, but AMC stuffed a 327 cubic inch V8 with mechanical lifters into it. It was the second fastest car produced in America in 1957, slower only to the Corvette Fueli we saw earlier. It was a wolf in sheep's clothing, a sleeper before the term existed. The Challenger. The 1971 AMC Javelin AMX. Driven by legends like Mark Donohue in Trans Am racing, this car had serious pedigree. With the 401 cubic inch V8, it was AMC's loudest shout. It had the cowl induction hood, the spoiler, and the wide stance that mimicked the track cars. It was an exotic design for a domestic brand, attempting to capture the youth market with flair and torque. A sensible 50s sedan versus 70s pony car icon. This is closer than the styling suggests. The winner goes to the 70s, but the Rebel puts up a fight that defies logic. The Javelin AMX clocked a 14.3, but look at the Rambler Rebel, a 15.3 second quarter mile in 1957. That is faster than the Mustang and the Corvette 454 we saw earlier. The 1950s technology, through sheer unexpected innovation and power-to-weight optimization, proved it could hang with the legends. So the final tally sees the 1970s taking 3 victories, but the 1950s claiming 2 decisive wins. This rivalry proved that greatness is not just about the year on the title, it is about the balance of power, weight, and the freedom to engineer without restriction. The 70s brought the brute force and the image, but the 50s laid the audacious groundwork that made it all possible. If you enjoyed exploring these untold rivalries of the car industry, make sure to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the automotive world. Until next time, remember that without rivalry, legends are never truly born.